Hi, everybody. Dan with BBS Film Productions, and we're here with CommTALK podcast. And our next guest, these are really great guys. This is Jim. I knew I was going to do it. Jeff James, Outlaw Jeff James, and Jim Bellinger.
That is right.
From Outlaw Radio. And I was able to remember that because he has the shirt on, of course. So great to have you guys here, man.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So the reason we're talking today is one of the cool things that you guys have done is you're able to get these monster people on your show. I mean, when I say monster, I mean huge rock stars, you know, for many years on your shows. And I think one of the big, well, first of all, before we even get into that, tell us a little bit about your show, your Outlaw Radio show, what you guys do, how you do it, and let's go from there. How it got started.
Okay, I'll let Jeff go first.
All right, cool. Outlaw Radio started last October. Prior to that, I was doing the show Loud and Local. Very similar, but more of a podcast.
Yes.
And Jim came on and did a few shows with us on Loud and Local. And I said to Jim, I have this idea. I want to do this like hybrid radio station / podcast where we do like political satire, talk about news, talk about local bands. Paranormal stuff. Yeah, that's a big part of it. We have the Zack Attack. He comes on and talks about world of music and different news. So me and Jim got together in October. I said to him, I go, let's try this thing. And so I had to learn how to produce. That was one of the big things. And then Jim came on as the co-host, and we basically hosted together. He has his Shanae, and he talks about like news and political stuff, and we have the rant. So yeah, we put this show together, and we're kicking ass. So
the big thing behind this is, like I was saying before, some of the people you brought in. Your first guest was, from what we're hearing, is a billionaire producer. I mean, he is a major player. And from there, you started landing some real big people as well. So tell us maybe about the initial person that you got on the show and how that all came about.
Well, you know, I've known Mark Berry for probably, a good 18, 20 years. And I know him because our band signed with Attack Media. That's how I know him. He produced our album. Yeah. From Toronto and produced it for us.
Now, for the people that don't know who Mark Berry is, maybe give a little
36 Gold and Platinum albums. Worked with Carly Simon, Duran Duran, Billy Idol, Voivod. Was in the same room with the drums of John Bonham. Sat in with, he knows Paul McCartney. He knows everybody in the music business.
Wow.
And in the film business.
Yeah. Wow.
And he's the nicest guy too. You'd never know it. He's so pleasant. He's been on the show a few times already, and it's like we're friends and whatever.
Yeah, we did the Loud and Local thing a couple times with him in that one simulcast, and he was just a great guy from what we could tell.
Multi-billionaire, acts just like a regular dude.
Yeah, super nice. From Canada.
From Canada,
places.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, he spent a lot of his time in New York City coming up in the music business. And then another thing a lot of people don't know about him, and I'll say it here, he was basically the creator of dance music genre in New York City. He worked with Kool and the Gang and a lot of those artists.
Was it Studio 54? Or was that about that era, maybe?
Yeah, probably so.
Oh, wow. That's
pretty
really
cool, right?
Yeah, very cool. So from there, you started getting even, the same level people on. Like, who was some of the last person? Rudy?
Yeah, we had Rudy Szaro from Quiet Riot, played with Ozzy Osbourne, played with Whitesnake, many other bands. And then we had Joe Vitale, who's the drummer of Joe Walsh, and he's been with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Buffalo Springfield. He played percussion with the Eagles.
Wow.
That blew our minds, getting him on the show. And not only did he come on the show, he did a pop-in last week where he just popped in and said hello.
Yeah.
Jeff was getting these great people to come on the show to interview, and I thought I wanted a part of the fun too, So I said, I'm going to get somebody good. And so Mark Farner. So so that's how that worked out. I wanted to join in on the fun. I just went to his website on Facebook, and you click that contact button, and it went right to the publicist, Melissa.
Mark Farner, and he is the lead singer of many.
Grand Funk.
Yeah.
And guitars.
Yes.
Great singer. Boy, that guy's got quite a voice.
I remember seeing them in Public Hall in the 60s. It was like one of my first concerts, and it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw him in a casino probably 2 years ago, and he was the only original member, but his voice was spot on. A lot of those guys, when they get to that age, they have a problem with, they bring somebody else in for the high notes. He hit every note perfect. Blew me away.
Yeah, he just did an new album, and Mark Slaughter from the band Slaughter was on it with him. And I'll say this, Jim, how Jim brought up how he's like, I'm going to get Mark Farner. He said it, and he did it.
Yeah.
And that's how we do things. I said to him, I'm getting Joe Vitale. We're getting Rudy Szaro.
Yeah.
And they came on the show. I don't know if it's luck or just being good, but either way, we'll take it.
Well, and you know what? I think people don't realize a lot of these people are approachable. A lot of people at very high profiles, especially if they're later in their careers, are very approachable and they're very accessible to do things because sometimes they want to stay relevant, in their world, with the younger group, and going on shows that they're not familiar with, they would be happy to do it, in some cases. But the fact that you're doing it consistently is very cool, and it's a secret sauce. It's just basically having the guts to go and hit the button and talk to them and whatever it might be. And in your case, you went on where? LinkedIn?
I use LinkedIn. I've a great deal of people I follow and then followers as well. And since we worked with like Rudy Szaro, and we've had other people on like Gregory Nicholas, who's in the paranormal world, we have other guests coming as well, not just musicians. We have paranormal people. We have like June Lundgren, who's wrote 11 books. Wow. She's a demon seer, demonologist. We have like real witches coming on the show. We have celebrity psychics. So, a little
bit of everything.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of everything, and we're going after it. So,
it's so cool.
One of our guests wanted us to be on their show, and isn't their show on like Netflix or I forget the name of the
that's
show.
right.
So we might actually be on his show investigating a house that has a haunted past.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
This fall, so that's very exciting for us to do that too.
It's a Dark Secrets Paranormal TV show, and Gregory Nicholas, who's been on our show, is on that show. So he hooked us up with that. And it's all about who you know, right?
Yes.
So it's just one thing after another. He knows that person, and we network big time.
And once you get in that circle, it makes it a lot easier to make the next introduction.
Yeah.
You had Mark C. Berry on there, and then you had Rudy, and then all these other people. Now you have a plethora of references you can come back to, which is really fantastic. So,
and we're going to use them.
Absolutely.
When we call somebody. Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking I wanted to hit on Joe Walsh, but then Jeff just mentioned that's already in the works. But I think I might check out his website and see if I can get the ball rolling a little bit.
I'll give you his contact because I have his number.
Yeah, and a lot of people.
Home number.
Yeah, a lot of people. Your home number already. Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people have like a gatekeeper in many cases, which is an agent. But like you went right through their agent, right?
Yeah, I went.
She was very happy to help you.
Well, it's his publicist. Her first name is Melissa, and this was about a month ago. I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna. I found the contact information, so I sent her an email. She got back to like on a Friday, and she got back to me on a Tuesday, and she was apologizing how long it took to get back to me. And I couldn't believe it, how nice she was. And she says, so when are you available to talk to Mark? I said, no, when are you available?
Yeah, right.
So she sent a short list of available dates, actually. Yeah. And I replied to her, and she got right back immediately. And it was just so easy. Maybe that was just beginner's luck. I don't know.
Well, no, it's that easy.
No, it's that easy. But you guys are also very polite and respectful. I've talked to some of these podcasters, and these guys were dicks. I'm being honest with you.
F-bombing it all over.
Yeah. Just between that.
Like to do that.
Yeah. Between that and just their attitude. One guy I was talking to him, and he's like, I was talking about, we're having a meeting. I'm like, hey, can you refresh my memory of what we're doing? He goes, you don't even know what the meeting's about. Click, a Zoom meeting, I'm like, obviously I don't want to talk to you anyway. It's just really nuts, So, but that's a big part of it. I think you respect their time, and you're, like you said, when's it good for him to do it, instead of saying, well, we got slots here and here, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's
the other thing that's really been a benefit for us that not a lot of people know is that we got nominated for Best Radio Station in Cleveland by C Magazine.
That's awesome.
And, WMS 107.3 and us, man. And I said to Jim, I go, just being nominated and being amongst that group is, and that's only 6 months doing this.
Yeah, right.
We're still learning. right?
Yeah, we certainly are. We're getting better at it every show.
Oh, yeah.
Something always happens, it seems like, that kind of messes it up. We want an A+ every time, but that's what we're striving for. We've had a couple good shows. Yeah,
well, the whole thing is you're entertaining your audience and you're educating them in many cases, which is kind of cool. Very cool stuff. So, well, great. So, guys, tell me where people can buy your merch, where they can reach out to you, where they can become a sponsor for your show, and actually be on the show and, that kind of thing.
Well, I'll go. We upload to X. We upload to Buzzsprout and Spotify. We go live on Facebook Live. It's actually off my profile, the Jeff James profile on Facebook. But we do have a YouTube channel for Outlaw Radio Show, and that also streams live. And we stream live on LinkedIn.
Very nice.
Okay. The cool thing about LinkedIn is that all the people I follow are all in the music business or paranormal world. And these are like the CEOs or the Mark Berry's of the world. Yeah. The AMG, the A&R guys. So it's cool because they're seeing it. Like WKYC watched our show for 3 weeks in a row. And that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Didn't we check their show?
We watched it.
Yeah, they're having a hard time getting viewers too. It's not easy. It's
not easy, man.
Right.
And they have to watch what they say too because they're WKYC.
Yeah.
So.
Great thing is we don't, but we still don't swear much.
We're good at that.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah. Is there an email they can reach you at or a phone number?
You could hit us up at subs. It's all lowercase SUBS outlaw at outlook.com. That's where a lot of bands will send their MP3s, MP4s.
Okay. We'll have it in the notes too.
Yeah. And they could reach us that way. And we got a lot of cool things going on. As far as merch, we do have shirts like the one Jim's wearing.
Yeah.
We have baseball hats as well.
Cool.
And we're going to be setting up a website where you'll be able to pay with a credit card or PayPal or Cash App and be able to order that stuff. And then as well as sponsorship information.
Awesome. Well, guys, I really appreciate you being on our show, and good luck to you on everything you guys are doing. So if you're interested in sponsoring these guys and being on the show, check out the link below. They'll definitely be able to help you out. And you're catching a ground floor operation with some really big names coming up from what we're hearing. So that's fantastic. Thanks.
Sweet. We're Outlaw Radio.
Outlaw Radio. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
See ya. Have a good one.